What is going on, everybody? It's Georgia Bulldog Will here, and I am proud to announce, as I said last year, that your Georgia Bulldogs are yet again your national champions. That is right. The Georgia Bulldogs have won the 2022 National Championship over the TCU Horned Frogs over in LA last night at SoFi Stadium, home of the Los Angeles Chargers and the Los Angeles Rams. But nonetheless, the Dogs are on top of college football again. Everybody before this season was like, I'm just going to state this. Everybody before the season, a lot of people before the season were like, there's no way Georgia repeats. Alabama's going to be back on top. What happened to Alabama? Well, they lost to Tennessee and LSU, and then their playoff hopes were gone. But I will give credit, they did well in their Kansas State game. But I don't care about that game. Georgia just absolutely steamrolled TCU. Steamrolled them. I mean, 65-7. Georgia beats TCU 65-7. When was the last time you've seen a score like that in a big game like the national championship? I've never seen a score like that in the national championship. The last blowout in the national championship was the Bama-Ohio State one. Last year, 33-18. That was no blowout. The Clemson-LSU, that was a blowout. Clemson-Bama 2018, Natty, that was a blowout. But this one, it's amazing how this team was able to deal with, a bunch of defensive talent going to the draft. But a lot of our offense stayed. Bowers, McConkey, A.D. Mitchell, Blaylock, don't mention his name very often, Arian Smith, I think I mentioned everybody. Oh, McIntosh, Milton, Dejon Edwards, Branson Robinson, who got 2 touchdowns in the game towards the final few minutes. The freshman, he had a great game, got 2 rushing touchdowns. Stetson also got 2 rushing touchdowns. Kenny didn't get any. Milton got one, didn't he? I believe, to my memory, I believe Milton got one too. Kendall Milton, I believe he got one too. Did Milton get one? I think Milton did get one. Yeah, Milton got one. Milton got one, and yeah. Yeah, Milton got one, Robinson got 2, Stetson got 2. Then on the receiving end, Bowers had a reception. McConkey had one. A.D. Mitchell. McConkey had 2. McConkey had 2, Bowers had 1, and Mitchell had 1. Stetson had 6 touchdowns, 4 passing touchdowns, and 2 rushing touchdowns. 6 touchdowns. What a game. Can't you see how much Stetson Bennett has improved since being a walk-on quarterback? Everybody was like, why is this guy in the game? He's not doing anything for us. He's making us bad. He's making us look bad. Last year, he does a little better. Still has the tendency to mess up in big situations, but he didn't mess up in the national championship. He didn't mess up. The clutch throw to A.D. Mitchell connected with Bowers. The pass to Pickens, yeah, that was good. But he got better. And then this year, his final year at Georgia, and we all called him Stetson Bennett, and he was unbelievable. His best games are either, he had 3 great games. His past 3 games have been unbelievable. This game, Ohio State in the fourth quarter, and then LSU the whole way. Unbelievable. I mean, just look, I don't know what to say anymore other than I'm so proud of Stetson, of how much he's improved, what he's accomplished. He had more passing yards than Aaron Murray in a season. He passed Aaron Murray. I mean, this guy is, he'll forever be known as one of our best quarterbacks in history. Seriously. Back-to-back, I mean, 2 national championships back-to-back, and a Heisman finalist. Yeah. Now, the thing about the game is, coming into it, I didn't think we would we would absolutely beat down TCU that badly. I think we were going to beat them like good, but I didn't think it would be 58-point difference. I was like, are you kidding me? We sure as heck covered the spread. Spread was 12.5. Oh, we covered it. 58. Who would have expected Georgia to score 65 points yesterday? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. I didn't. I said we would win. I actually said we would win 35-28. I thought it was going to be a 1 touchdown difference. I thought it would be a defensive matchup, but no, we just dominated the whole time. And I think I know why we kept on dominating the second half. If you heard Kirby Smart's halftime speech, I mean, unbelievable. I think his halftime speech lit a fire and lit a spark. Lit a spark in the players, and they were like, we got to go out there and dominate because TCU is a second half team. They're known for comebacks, but we completely shut them down. And we just kept pouncing on them on offense, scoring on every opportunity possible. I mean, I think we only punted 1 time. I think Thorson only punted 1 time last night. 1 time. I mean, this offense was dominant. And the defense stayed dominant. Javon Bullard with 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, getting a bunch of sacks on Duggan. Did a good job shutting down the running game. Just great job in general, man. So, I'm just excited to see where this team goes now with a bunch of players definitely heading off to the draft. Like, a bunch of players heading off to the draft, what's it called? Well, Jalen Carter, who's the number 1 prospect coming into the draft, yeah, he'll be heading off. Nolan Smith, yep, he'll head off. I'd like to see Stetson get drafted, maybe in like the 6th round, 7th round, somewhere like that. I don't think with him being known, you know, a 2-time national champion, back-to-back national champion, a Heisman finalist, broke the record for passing yards in a season, broke Aaron Murray's record for passing yards in a season. Completely dominated. I mean, how does this guy not get drafted? How does he not get drafted? I mean, you look at him. I mean, he got a curtain call from the fans. That just shows how much he means to how much Stetson means to Georgia and to this team and to the school. I mean, he means a lot. He's been leading this offense for the past, well, I'd say 2.5 seasons. Because, you know, it was a mixture of Stetson, JT in 2020, more Stetson last year, and then just all Stetson this year. So, that's how it worked. But, I can't believe this. A lot of people turned the game off at halftime. They were like, I can't watch this. I made it through. I was able to watch the whole thing. I mean, I have to. I'm a fan of Georgia, so I should make through. I should watch the entire game, so that's what I did. And well, other than that, this was probably one of the most dominating performances by Georgia this entire season. If not, this is the most dominating performance this season. We have had a bunch of them. I mean, start off season with a bang against Oregon. Dominated them. Beat them by 40s. What did we beat them? 49-3, 42-3, something like that. Something like that. I got it right here. 49-3. Yeah, shut out Samford. We dominated South Carolina. Kent State, not domination. Missouri, we had to come back to win. Auburn, we dominated them in the second half. Vanderbilt, we dominated. Florida, we ran away from them in the second half. Towards like the end of the third quarter, beginning fourth quarter. Tennessee, we were able to hold on and win. We were able to hold off Tennessee. Dominated Mississippi State. Defense played amazing against Kentucky. And we were able to run away from Georgia Tech. Then you dominated LSU. You came back in the end to beat Ohio State. And then just completely obliterate TCU. Out of all teams, and I didn't think we would absolutely destroy them. I mean, nobody expected it to be like this. Nobody. Not even me. Well, Kirby was like, we got to dominate. That's what he said before the game. We got to dominate. And they sure as hell dominated in the first half. And let alone, they dominated the entire game. The entire 60 minutes, Georgia was dominating. Only gave up one touchdown the entire game. And that were the only points they gave up. So, I mean, I'm so happy that we were able to repeat as champions. We're on top of college football again. I'm gonna go into something. I do think as of right now, you'll ask me, do you think Georgia's the standard? As of right now, I think we are, because I mean, if you have such a dominant season like we did, I mean, you have a few games where you had to come back and win and a few close wins up in there, but that's football. You have those games. But then you have those dominations, and especially the national championship. How do you not put us as the standard? We're repeating champions. We won the last two. We've won 2 natties in a row. We've dominated this entire season. We went undefeated. We didn't lose to one team. One team. And how can you not say we're the standard? For now. Again, Alabama could become the standard again sooner or later. I'm not doubting that. They can become the standard, but as of right now, it's Georgia. So, but do I think we're a dynasty? Yeah, settle down on that. We're not a dynasty yet. Settle down on that. We're not a dynasty yet. We'll get there. If we win, if we three-peat, then if we three-peat next year, then I'm gonna start to think that we'll become a dynasty very soon. But right now, I'm not looking at a dynasty. I think probably in the next like 10 to 15 years, we can be a dynasty. But right now, we're just a standard. We're like, if you want to be the best team in college football, you gotta beat us. It's like how, you have to beat Alabama. If you want to be the best team in college football, you gotta beat Alabama. That's what we did last year. So now they're coming for us. Now they're really coming for us. Last year they're like, oh, Georgia's gonna be hunted. Kirby's like, no, we're not being hunted. And we definitely weren't. I mean, we're not being hunted. I mean, we dominated. But now I truly think we are going to be hunted when people start to say we are the standard, which I agree with. Not as a fan, but truly I do agree we are the standard. But Regardless of that, Georgia is your national champion again. Let's go. I'm so happy. Another national championship. That's 4 now. 1942, 1980, 2021, and 2022. Let's go. I'm so happy. I am so happy. I'm so happy. I cannot believe this. 65-7, Georgia beats TCU and wins the national championship. I will see you guys later. I'll make videos over the offseason of like which Georgia players that'll go to like that are like on which team, you know, who's going to the draft, like all the players going to the draft, like we'll see. I'll make videos about that. National Signing Day, yeah, that's another thing. But right now, we're just gonna celebrate this natty, and I'm just gonna say these 2 words before I close out the video. Go Dogs!